Good morning, afternoon, or evening to whoever's watching at whatever time. My name is Arabia Jones, and today we're going to be talking about ways to cope with stress, or in this case, ways to get rid of stress. Although you can't really get rid of stress, it's more of just a natural thing that everybody has, and it doesn't really mean that it's a bad thing. So, first off, we're going to ask, what is stress? And I have a quick video for you guys that you would have to watch. Uh, I'm sorry I can't get rid of my face during this, but I'll watch with you and we'll just see through it.
What is stress? Do you know that you experience stress, whether you like it or not, whether you realize it or not, every single day of your life? So, just what is stress? When things seem to be too much to take, when demands start to exceed your ability or perceived ability to cope, stress sets in. Stress is a condition that arises when there's a gap between what you need or want to do and what you feel you're able to do. But what may be stressful to you may not be stressful to another, and what may be stressful to you now may not be stressful at a later time. The beauty is, you grow with stress, but you can also grow out of it.
Amen to that. So, now that you know what stress is, now we need to understand what type of stress you are going through. And there are two types, distress and eustress. Now, if you're finding out ways to get rid of stress, then you're most likely facing distress. And of course, that is a negative type of stress. And eustress is, of course, positive because opposites. So, when we go through this presentation, I'll explain to you later on why eustress is more preferable for you to have. Um, Now, first, we're going to talk about distress because it's good to get bad news first, right? Distress can be caused by certain things. You can be pressing for time, or you could be dealing with events like changing in your environment from moving from A to B. Middle school would be a good example of that. High school is even better. That transition can be totally changing. It could be for the better, but sometimes it might kill you. Uh, but whatever kills you makes you stronger. Uh, so other ways for distress would be dealing with family issues such as money or going through a divorce, or traumatic events such as going through someone who recently died that was very close to you. And then there are also new challenges that you have to face, like getting a new job or even getting a new task in your job that might seem like it's out of your control. So, the first thing our bodies do is react, and this is called defensive coping whenever your body reacts to distress. One way is substance abuse, which is drugs and alcohol. This is not preferable, but it happens. And sometimes it's not even as dangerous per se as drugs and alcohol. It could be food. You might end up, binging on food and snacking without even thinking about it. There is aggression, which is kind of the same thing when people go through death or about to die. They go through the denial and then anger, and they want to find somebody to blame. And in this case, people react and they don't want to deal with other people. They just want people to stay away, and they can harm somebody. But this is also called withdrawal, which is, of course, making sure you want to be in your own bubble. For me, if I'm being oppressed for time and people are asking me questions or wanting to bug me or laugh with me, I don't want to. I want to be in my own little world and no one mess with me, and I just want to get done it without being disturbed. And if anybody messes with me, then I react with aggression. Um, Suicide is more of a extreme case in withdrawal, and when you just want to get rid of stress completely, like you're absolutely sick of it and you just want to just end everything. And hopefully no one reaches that. And then of course there are the defensive mechanisms such as there is regression, there's repression, There's displacement, and then there's also sublimation and denial. Sublimation being more of just replacing it with something else. You might want to run across the track a few times or kick a ball, and you just place that anger into everything like that, and angry writing. And these are very unhealthy ways in dealing with stress. So not really nice. But this is ways to be less distressed. And this is just to stop feeling guilty. So just don't feel bad about yourself. Not everybody's perfect. The decisions that you make, the first thing that comes to mind is usually what's best for you or what's best for your company, because you know what's right. So you have to be at a peace with yourself, knowing that whatever you do is for the best. Stop procrastinating, of course. Take things time by time by time, little by little, instead of waiting until the day is due or the deadline when it's time to make that very important decision and think that you can kind of just wing it. Not everything you can just wing. I've learned that the hard way. And of course, look back at what you've done before and be more self-confident about yourself and the things that you have done, and know that whatever you do is for the best of you or for the best of others, and that not everything is going to be perfect, but it's what you believed is right. So this leans toward a better lifestyle, and this comes to eustress. Now, eustress, as you see, is of course a state of mind. All stress is a state of mind. This is more of a positive state of mind. People can actually be characterized as this more positive eustressors, I would like to call them. They believe that whatever goals they set, they can achieve, no matter what it takes, through time. And it's just always a positive look on things. There is psychological hardiness. This is an actual psychological term of character, courage, and commitment. Not really. It's commitment, challenge, and control. Commitment being that they, say they're going to do it, they're going to do it, and they're going to follow through it no matter what. And this can be a good thing. Sometimes it's good to also consider other options, but this is something very important to keep in your state of mind, that you're able to do something that you say you're able to do. And then, of course, challenging yourself. This is why it's more preferable, so you can go on to a higher and higher state and quality of life, so that whenever you do reach your time, that you have no regrets, and that's just something that you can just go through. And then, of course, having control of the situation and knowing what to do when things go wrong, which is along with predictability. Just understanding what needs to be done and how it needs to be done, and if there's a backup plan. Always good to have a backup plan. And of course, there's sense of humor. Now, for sense of humor, it's also a really good thing to have. I know whenever I am stressed out about things being done and people ask me how I am, I say everything's going wrong, but I say it in a positive way, so I can trick myself into feeling that happiness and then later on end up feeling happy. Now, for example, another example would be one of my members thought it'd be funny to change our names, and we were all flipping out about the project, and he was like, hey guys, look. So that's why I decided to keep it here on the title, because it's just kind of lightened the mood despite the press for time. It's just to know that, hey, you need to calm down and we need to get through this, but you need to stay relaxed. So this is active coping, changing, stressful thoughts into more positive ways, and hey, at least I'm still alive, still breathing, I can get through this. And that will help relax you. And then, of course, the simple exercises like yoga and breathing exercises, things that you could do every day. It's nothing too complicated. And of course, being socialize with others and listen to others and help people through their problems, and you can help yourself in that way. And also, these are other ways that you can relieve your stress. Understanding yourself, and hopefully you can get a hang of dealing with your own emotions and watching yourself. And that's all the time I have today. Here are the sources. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this video helped you a lot. and have a good Thanksgiving break. Thanks, guys.